Now let's talk real quickly about this page where we see um, a predecessor who had the Titan powers being eaten by a successor who was going to take these Titan powers, which includes all the memories of creation and history of civilization and everything. Um, and it was detailed that it was Frida Riss killing her uncle to obtain these powers. Now it's kind of bizarre because I guess this implies that you need to kill them while they are alive to do it. You can't kill them while they're dead, and that also implies that there's this risk that if they die somehow, natural causes or not, then you're screwed. All those memories just go with him. Um, and also, just on a very sad level, you see like his uncle, and he's just got this very accepting face, and then he gets ripped apart, like literally just blood splurted everywhere when he gets eaten. Literally, it seems like you just need to eat half of this person's body, or at least their head, and then you obtain their powers. Anyhow, I guess the next big thing is that if you go to the next page, I think this is the chapter where I really started realizing this. Each time after you transform and you return to human form, you get these things under the eyes, like dots that connect some to some vein that stretches out under each eye. And I guess it is some sort of biological thing that works together so that you can see out the huge Titan's eyes, and then the veins aren't completely pulled off when you transgress back to human. It's kind of like a organic transformer, or one of those. When have you ever seen Gundam, where the humans in anime they're strapped into these huge robots that battle each other? It's kind of like that, but rather than robots and technology, it's like organic. Anyhow, moving on. Then he goes on to say that everything that's happened right now, the walls being broken, people dying, is all caused by the fact that they don't have the power anymore because Eren took it. Which doesn't make any sense to me because Eren only recently acquired it from you know who. And that begs the question, well, okay, what's the truth of what's going on? Probably this whole war and all this stuff is not really what's causing this. I feel like this real king is naive in the fact that he himself doesn't know what the heck's really going on. His memories may have been altered himself. Or he just doesn't know what the heck's truly going on. He thinks he's fighting for a good cause when in reality there's a darker thing going on here. And so you see him here, and I guess that it made me think back to this whole thing. Eren has now acquired all these powers, including the ability to control all the Titans. And you see this because when he was in Titan form back like 30 chapters ago, he sort of shouted out and stopped and commanded all the other Titans to stop. And that pretty much implies that there's no way in hell that all these Titans are truly bad man-eating creatures that humanity cannot control. It means that some division of humanity, whoever's in charge of this Supreme Titan, is able to control most, if not all, Titans, which means that all the ones that keep coming, that keep encroaching and attacking the walls and all that stuff, it has to be orchestrated because there's a connection there. We now have Eren, who obtained his powers from a human transforming Titan, and those powers not only gave you memory abilities, but also the ability to control all the Titans. And therefore, it doesn't make sense. It's like, how can you really be us against the Titans when you can control, some division of humanity can control Titans? Anyhow, um, there's another thing that is explained here, and this may be the reason why Eren is not breaking down in tears. I mean, he did for a while, but I mean, for all of those memories to come back, including the memories of the creation of time, I feel like some of that has been blockaded because it says that if you're not part of, you don't have the blood of the royal Reese family, the true power cannot be brought out, and he remains just a vessel for that power. So he's just carrying that power. He can't use it himself properly, and that's another thing because now we're like, okay, so he can't use any of his powers. He just carries it. That's not really true because we saw him use some of them before. Or he just, I don't think he can control them yet. But again, we see something very, very strange because, Eren throughout this chapter, save for like the last few pages where he's just silent, maybe just shocked at what's been revealed, he's been like shouting and screaming and trying to like tell them something, but he can't. And it doesn't make any sense because, like, what could it possibly be? Because, like, maybe he has some new knowledge of this whole affair that's just ridiculous, that will just, like, open your eyes to whatever the heck is going on. And then finally we get this huge sort of plot twister. They think they're alone, and then all of a sudden, Kenny, the killer, he comes down from the ceiling, just like from using one of his guns, just coming down from with his grappling hook on the wire, and he's just like, oi, 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 hold on a second, hold on a second, hold on a second. So then, if the Reese house doesn't eat Eren, then the true king cannot come out. And then he's like, then even if I eat Eren and become a Titan, it'd all be pointless. And so it seems pretty obvious, based on the caption after that, Kenny showing his true colors. It seems like Kenny, who obviously has ridiculous strategic ability, ridiculous combat ability, probably could massacre all these people here, which is kind of bizarre how this king is putting all his trust in this person who's so close, who has all these weapons, who can just kill you all in an instant. So it seems like what he's done is he probably has some injection ready to turn into a Titan at the last second, or his plan was to do so, and then he probably killed the king and Historia, eat Eren himself, obtain these powers, and then go on to potentially rule the world, or whatever the heck he wants to do, which is probably why he decided to all of a sudden switch sides from being some serial killer who was eventually captured by military police or the government to siding with the government to take down others, was because he was doing it in order to eventually be able to kill, take these supreme powers. And in addition to that, it's just like it's very similar to, I guess, Hisoka in the Phantom Troop arc in Hunter x Hunter, but I don't want to spoil that for people who haven't read that. But again, it's just very, very interesting, and I guess what seems to happen is like he's probably going to be told, hey, that's true. Even if it wasn't true, the king at this point would not tell him the truth about it, because at this point he probably already subconsciously realized, holy crap, if I tell this man, he's going to kill me and then steal the powers. And actually, now that I think about it, I do not think that Eren obtained his powers from that woman who was able to turn into a Titan. The reason being, there was that flashback earlier where we see Eren's dad killing and obtaining these supreme powers. And then it seems like it's all piecing together now. It seems like when Eren was still a child, all of a sudden he injected his son, turned him into a Titan, which he's a child, he doesn't know what he's doing, makes him eat himself, makes his own son eat himself to obtain these deep powers, and then boom. So for some reason his dad already had the powers, And then at the same time, it's like that doesn't really make sense at all, because if the real king and all these people knew that Aaron's dad did this, then why would they let Aaron just walk around, be a normal part of this village, stay in the village with the father, and then often go to let their son go to military police rather than recapture this man, torture him, or just kill him and take the powers back? Doesn't make sense. And then it's like, okay, if his father died in that incident, then how come we've seen his father almost up until the last moment where Aaron's mother died? And it seems like Aaron's father is still alive. Remember his last appearance was like, here's the key. Tomorrow I'm going to show you the basement and show you something very special underneath the basement. Get to the basement. And then the Titans attack and you never see him again. So it's very bizarre. And then there's a question of if Aaron still has the key. I think he does, but at the same time it's like it doesn't seem to appear while he's bare naked on that pedestal right now. So who knows where the key is? I think it's gone now. In addition to that, it's just like okay, so he somehow obtained his father's powers while his father still survived that somehow, even though you're supposed to rip your predecessor to shreds to obtain that power. And so I mean, I guess the biggest thing I don't realize is why you would just trust someone like Kenny to do all this stuff. No doubt he's gonna come in and kill you all again, and it's just very, very bizarre, all the things that are going on. And I think my prediction, my theory is that Aaron's father stumbled across the truth, and because of that, he realized that the truth was very important and needed to be figured out, and he needed it was some injustice going on, some injustice. So that's why with all the flashbacks with Aaron's father saying, one day you will understand, just trust me, this is for the greater good of mankind, this is for your mother, something like that. But I think Aaron has now remembered everything, if not most of what he's remembered. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen in the future. And if you like this video, leave it a like, leave it a comment, hit the subscribe button if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet. I'll see you in my next video. Be subscribed so you'll know when that comes out. Let me know any questions or comments or requests in the comments below. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.